Welcome to the after show. This is where you get a second opportunity of me pulling a love letter or a photograph of your loved ones. My shows, which have been so popular over the last 14 years, are proving even more so to be needed, and I feel that I can never do enough love letters or photographs for you. So for me to be able to do this after show is wonderful. We're going to be kicking off the after show with Neath, and I appeared in Neath in May 2023 at the Gwyn Hall. For any of you that were forward thinking enough and put in love letters or put in photographs, I'm about to give you another opportunity for me to give you a message from your loved ones. Right, we're going to start with a love letter. Oops. Oh, the first love letter is from a lady called Shannon. That's her love letter there. And she's writing, am I on the right path? Well, Shannon, you are on the right path, and very much I can see your father's side around you. Now, looking at your dad's side really tells me there's a sense of protection, and it's really protecting your mental health and protecting your emotions. So at the moment, whatever decisions you're making because you feel you don't want to repeat mistakes, which is always a good idea. I have to say that November is being mentioned as well, Shannon. A lot of love in November. November's a really heightened month where I would think that there are at least 2 birthdays and possibly 3 quite significant passings. And I feel those 3 men that are in spirit around you, they are connected to your dad's side. I get the name John, and I get the name Mitch, M-I-T-C-H. So I don't know if that's an abbreviation for Mitchell or for Michael, but it's like Mitch. You're on the right path, you've made the right decision, and you are definitely being guided by your guardian angels from your dad's side. Isn't that lovely? That's the first one. Right, I'm going to pull out a photograph. Let's do this one. It's the first one I put on. It's a photograph of a gentleman. It says on the back here, 1 month before he died. And there's, at the bottom, Georgia is the person that put this in. It looks like he's on a cruise to me, or on a boat. Maybe it was his own boat, but I think it's a cruise. Georgia, I have to say that he comes through immediately, this man. There's the name Bob or Bobby, and he's in spirit with someone called Bob. It might even be his name, which would be Robert, and sending lots of love to all of you and saying that he felt that his passing was quite sudden. So when this man passed, even though I think that people knew that he was poorly and he was struggling with his health, I don't think anyone expected him to pass as quickly as he did. He didn't expect to pass as quickly as he did. But he is also somebody that he wouldn't have wanted to linger, and he wasn't somebody that made a lot of fuss. He didn't moan or complain or whinge. So for this man to be poorly for a long time wouldn't have suited his personality. So he's saying, in a way, he's happy he went as quickly as he did, but he understands that people struggled with coming to terms with that. Lovely photograph, and it was an opportunity for him, when this photograph was taken, to totally connect with his mother, with his father, with relatives. He contemplated at this particular time. I don't think it's long before he passed. Lovely photograph. We like that. In a show, sometimes I can only get round to doing 1 card and 1 photograph, but we're going to do a lot more here for you, which is really lovely. We're going to do another card. It's a love letter. Lisa M. You've written a book there for me, Lisa, so let's have a little read of this. It says, Phil, we think and speak about you every day. The boys will never forget you. Oh, Lisa, That is just so lovely, and definitely Phil is with you and around the boys. This is another passing where Phil didn't realise that he would pass on that particular day. Even if he was poorly, or even if he realised that, you know, something was not quite right there, he didn't know he was also going to go on that day. Very similar to that other gentleman. Lisa, he wants you to know that he was with you immediately. As soon as he passed, he was around you. And what's really interesting, I'm looking at a window in your house and where Phil lived, where it's very difficult to close, but the window was fine until Phil passed. And then it's almost as if one of the signs that he will give you is that you can't close the window properly. Let me know what you think on that. There's the name Martin here. I feel that Phillip was very intent on making sure that all the bureaucracy that comes with a passing, that was taken care of. Lisa, you may have felt a little bit let down there, but he did his best. And that's what he's saying to you. Nice one, that. Let's do another photograph. Oh, that's a lovely photo. Oh, it's an original. It's a black and white wedding photograph. Look at that, everybody. What a beautiful picture. On the back, it's got love you and miss you both. All my love, Marie. Marie, you obviously put this in. It's a beautiful photograph. And if I can just let all of you know that the after show, we do exactly the same with the love letters and the photographs. They are put eventually on my memorial garden, okay? So they're incinerated, composted, and then that compost goes on the memorial garden. And it's very, very important when you get a lovely photograph like this. So, Marie, they are with you. And two names that I get the name Tony, and also, I know your name is Marie, but another Marie in spirit. Is this Anthony and Marie here? Also, you know, there is the name Michael here as well. They're together, which I think is so important because there was a deep love. They were soulmates. They were connected, not only with children and with their grandchildren, but it's almost as if right from the very first time they met, they knew they'd be together forever. It's a true love story that. They were both really good people, and you know, this lovely lady here, she wants to say to you, Marie, that how much she loved you and how much all the family meant to them. They're with a little girl in spirit, and I think it may have been a pregnancy that wasn't able to complete, or, you know, I feel that they lost a baby and it was a little girl. It's so wonderful for them both to be with their daughter that passed before them, and they thought of her often. Lovely photograph, that. Love that. Do another. Just turning them over, just like I do on stage. I hope you're enjoying this, everybody. Muriel. Oh, Muriel, I'm so sorry to hear you lost your son. Ask my son, is he okay, please? And she's saying thank you. Muriel, your son is full of apologies about your sadness, about how shocked the family were, and he just wants you to know that he is with you. He also wants you to know that he really struggled, you know, at the end of his life, and I just feel, Muriel, that there were so many things that he wanted to do. I don't feel also as if I'm in this country, Muriel. Did he pass in another country, or why do I want to go abroad with him? Somewhere very warm. I don't know if it's a Mediterranean country though. Might be Australia. He's talking about another country and about his energy being in that other country. There's the name Ian as well. And there's the name Susan. He's just said Anna. Oh, that's interesting. Or and her. And ANDHER. Muriel, Your boy is with you all the time, darling, and he is saying that I think he may have passed on a Wednesday, because he's saying that on the Thursday he was around you, his energy was with you. I think he'd already gone then. It's almost as if 24 hours after his death, you possibly felt him there around you. Who's Alison, Muriel? Let's do another photograph. And there's a lovely one here. I saw this when I was first moving them all around in the bowl, and there's some writing on the back. I'm probably not going to pronounce this correctly. It's Welsh, but I think it's Erlis Jones, or Erlis Jones and Kenneth Jones. Both passed 5 months. I don't know if that means 5 months apart. They're together. Gaynor Oak has put that in. So Gaynor, it's a lovely, lovely picture. And once again, you know, complete privilege that I'm able to pick you out, because this is the after show and this is what it's all about. Ken is very prominent today, okay? He was very shocked at his passing. Erlis, is that his mother? I think this is mother and son by the looks of it. They're definitely together, and Erlis is, before she passed, there was extreme tiredness. I do think that she possibly, I don't know if she had to have blood transfusions or if there was a problem with her blood with, you know, really bad anemia, but there was a tiredness that was there, not because of medication, but because of her illness. And she says she was so tired, it was so difficult for her even to open her eyes, and she wasn't comatose. This was to do with really symptoms of an illness that was with her. She thanks everybody for being there and loving her and being around her. This is a wonderful family, the Jones family. You're very close, and Ken is also saying to everybody, I wanted everybody to have whatever I left, it was to be shared out. He's a very generous man and would have given anybody anything, especially family. It was all about family, was Ken. I think this 5 months each is to do with that maybe they passed 5 months apart. So it wasn't long until they were both together again, which is really lovely. But they're together now. And Gaynor, they're very much around you. Who's David? And it's the lady who possibly is your mum, Gaynor. It's the lady that mentions David, and she's very happy to be with David. I feel as if when she said that, I was on a coastal area, and I was at, I'm looking out of the front of the house, an upstairs window, it's going to be a bedroom window, bay window, looking out, and right in front of me is the coast, is the sea, and her energy, Gaynor, is there. And who's Audrey? It's an unusual name, isn't it? It's an old-fashioned name, a lovely name. She mentions Audrey, she's with Audrey. Oh look, it's something on the back. Love from Dad. Lindsay on the front. So Lindsay, you're saying, where's your Emmanuel sunglasses, Mum? Oh no, not Emmanuel, Chanel. That C looks like an E, doesn't it? Where are your Chanel sunglasses, Mum? Well, Lindsay, I'm afraid I'd be asking the same if I couldn't find my Chanel sunglasses. Now, you haven't lost them, and they're in a handbag of your mum's. So possibly, Lindsay, you've already like sorted out all her handbags, and it's not a shopping bag. It's in a handbag. It's in a handbag. It's in a black leather or leather type handbag, and they're not in a glasses case. So she was a bit careless with her Chanel sunglasses, you know. She's just thrown them in a bag, but it was a bag that she was using, and it would have been a handbag. Try and remember your mum sitting in a car where she opened her bag to put her sunglasses on. She wasn't driving, she was a passenger. That's where you're going to find the sunglasses from when she was there. She's with your dad, and she's around your dad. And I think your dad is still here on Earth plane, but your mum is with him. Oh, that is so lovely, Lindsay. Who's Jean? She's with Jean. We're getting through these. Let's do one more love letter. Let's give us a jumble them all up. Have that one there, it's sort of stuck out. And this is, whoa, Debbie Powell. I just mentioned a Jean. And this is what Debbie Powell says. I had no idea I was going to pull this out. To my mum, Jean. To my mam, Jean. Happy birthday for tomorrow. Love, Debbie Powell. Well, Debbie, I'm so pleased that I pulled this out for your mummy. You know, I know the disappointment when I can't do enough when I'm actually doing my show. So the after show, last one for Neath, is for Debbie Powell, for her mam, Jean. Your mum knows that you wished her a happy birthday. I know, Debs, that you know your mum is always with you. And she's talking about New York, Debbie. Are you off to New York? She mentions that. And she says, oh, that was so funny. And what I'm looking at is somebody, and I feel like I'm in New York. I don't know New York that well, but I've been there a few times. But it's like I feel somebody has tripped on the pavement and fallen over. What is all that about? I don't know. Unless you were in York, as in York, Yorkshire, York, and someone fell over. If that's the case, Debbie, your mum, Jean, she was with you. And she's smiling, so nobody was hurt, but they fell over. They must have grazed their knee, I think. Your mum wants you to know that she's with her mum, she's with your nan, and she's with your granddad. And sitting next to them is a big black dog. It could be a Labrador, but it's got a lot of hair. It's quite shaggy, so it may be another breed. But it's no bigger than a Labrador. But it's sitting there next to your granddad. Your granddad is sitting in the chair, and your mum is there. And it's like a little family scene that I'm looking at. Your mum wants you to know, Debbie, that when she passed, there was no pain, and she just fell asleep. She says, 1 minute I was looking straight ahead. The next minute I just turned my head to the side and I was gone. No pain at all. She just fell asleep, Debbie. I do hope that you will tune in to the after show. I will be doing as many after shows as I can. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, to the YouTube channel. Like, share, tell all your friends about it. Let me know that you are loving these videos and I will continue with them. I'll do whatever you want me to do. And I think that it's my way of appreciating and saying how grateful I am that you support my tour and that you bother to put love letters and photographs in. So until the next time, make sure that you follow me. Make sure that you subscribe. You will get notification if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you all later.